Hello and welcome to the Elite Wealth webinar on the Metastock Elite Traders Club download. What we're going to cover today is how to install the download that we've created for you, and then how to use the download with the various templates, explorations, etc. that are on that download. As usual, our disclaimer: the content of this presentation or any other Elite Traders Club material does not constitute a recommendation, nor does it take into account your investment objectives, financial situation or particular needs. You can pause the recording and read the rest of that. Thank you. So what we're going to cover today is how to install the Elite Traders Club additions to Metastock. So this is an extra download that we will send you if you have Metastock and if you are a member of the Elite Traders Club. You just have to ask for it. We're going to show you also how to use the templates, the expert advisors and the various explorations that we've got within that special download. Within Metastock, these are labelled Elite Wealth or EW to differentiate them from the current default templates, experts, etc. that are currently in Metastock. To install the download, as I said, you just ask us to send it to you. You click on the little link and then run that, give it permission. Your computer will ask for permission to install, and it's a self-installing file. You must have Metastock version 14. You can't have an earlier version, it will only work in Metastock 14, and you must have Metastock closed for the downloads to work properly. Once you've installed the download, you can reopen Metastock and you will find that you'll have these extra Elite Wealth additions to your version of Metastock. Within that, there are the templates. There's your market index template, the one you can see here. There's relative strength templates for Australia and the US. You can just apply these individually, or you can set these as default templates. We'll show you how to do that. The relative strength templates, as usual, same as on Beyond Charts for those of you who've used Beyond Charts. It's got our custom indicator, the relative strength, which is comparing either to the Australian market or the US market, depending on which template you've got applied. We've got the average true range on there, so you can work out stop loss distances, etc. We've got our usual 63, 21 and 125 period moving averages, and our new 380R trailing stop loss line, and the little bombs you see there are these are the price volume volatility signals, both long and short. The market risk template, fairly simple, clean template. It has the swing line on there, so you can see your troughs and peaks there, and then beneath that is the market risk rating. Now the market risk rating also comes through later on when we apply another expert to your individual stock charts. I'll cover that when we come to it, but for the individual market, if these are color coded. So you can see, I'll just switch over to Metastock and we'll bring it up here. This is the Australian market. And to apply the template, I just right click, apply template. Up comes my list of templates. I'm going to ask for the Elite Wealth Australia and ask that to apply. I'm ticking this so it uses the templates periodicity because we use a daily one as compared to weekly. The other templates are all weekly, and there's your template. And just using the simple traffic light system, green is low risk, and as we head towards yellow and red it becomes high risk, and the cerise is extreme risk. If you're not sure what the risk rating is, if you just hover over one of the candles or histograms down the bottom, it'll give you the date and the value of the stochastic and the risk rating for that particular day. It is because this is a daily chart. So that's a market risk template. And just showed you then how to apply the template. Just right click and select from the chart. You can change the templates yourself. So we've set up some standard ones in here. If you did want to change the template, if you wanted to take something off a chart and not have it on your own specific template, or if you wanted to add indicators, we'll show you how to do that now. To delete indicators, you need to what we call select the indicator, and do that just by clicking on the indicator, and I'll just show you that on chart. So if I want to get rid of this line here, I just click on it, and you notice I get these little black squares. That tells you that Metastock knows I have selected that, and I can now right click, and anything I do will affect that line. So if it's identified this as the Elite Wealth swing line, if I want to delete that, I just click on delete and it's gone. Very simple process. Adding indicators, there's a couple of ways of adding indicators. One way is simple drag and drop, where you can select at the top of Metastock. I'll go back into Metastock again. You've got this indicator quick list up here, and you can edit this list, by the way. You can see there's a lot of indicators, lots and lots of indicators on here. If you right click up here, you can go to quick list properties, and you can check all, uncheck all, and then add them later, so that you only have in this list up here the indicators that you know you're going to use. And you can add or delete indicators to that list any time. If I wanted to add the average true range from this list, you can see when I hover over the little chart to the left of the name, it indicates that a little hand there that I can drag and drop. If I left click and hold that down, as I approach the chart tells me, hey, I know you want to add something to the chart, and you can drag and drop it there, or you can take it down the bottom and drag and drop it down there into a separate window, and then asks you for the parameters of the average true range if you want to change the periodicity of it here, or the number of periods it's calculated over, colours, how it's calculated, and you can have horizontal lines put on the chart in that window as well. Very simple process. So that's the first way you can do that. The second way is to go up here to insert, and if you click on indicators, it comes up with the full list of indicators. You select the indicator you want to put on here, so say you want to put another moving average on the chart, and the system then asks you, where do you want this to go? Do you want to have a new inner window for this, or do you want to use one of the current windows that you've got? And so you've got window number 1, which is where our price line is, showing the ASX 200, or do you want this to go on market risk? We want this to go on inner window number 1. So I just click on that, and there comes up with the same sort of properties window, so I can select whatever value I want to put on the moving average or indicator that I'm putting on, and I then just click on OK, and there's my line on the chart. Very simple process. So I've just been through that. Drag and drop. You can drag it onto the chart, wait for the chart to change colour, and then drop the indicator and fix your values, or go through the insert function. I find the insert function easier when I'm opening up a new window. Makes it nice and quick and clean. Select your properties, and away you go. Now, once you've set your template up with the changes you want to make, the additions or deletions, you then save that as another template. So back to Metastock, go to File and Save As. Just need to change this here, the type from a chart to a template. And you can see as soon as I do that, it comes up with all the current templates that we've got in here at the moment. So I've got my relative strength ASX and USA and the Elite Wealth Australia ones here, and I can call this whatever I want to call this and then save that, and that will then go into the list in alphabetic order. If I want it to be at the top of the list, you can see what I've done up here with one we've made up. We've put a $ in front of it. That gives its precedence in the alphabetic listing. So if you put a $ or a hashtag or something in front of it, that will put this at the top of the list, so it's easy for you to apply that template there. Yeah. There is a default template. When you've probably got that set up on your Metastock now to be whatever it is. You can change that quite easily just by right-clicking, and instead of selecting Apply Template, you save as default template. So whatever you have on the chart at the time you do this function, that will now be your default template. So any charts you bring up that don't have a smart chart assigned to them will come up as your default template. Now the second function we have on the new Elite Wealth Metastock download are the expert advisors. I've got a number of expert advisors on here. To apply them very simply, we'll bring up another chart. We want Coca-Cola. Now that's the wrong template on there, so I'm just going to right click and apply template, and I want the relative strength USA template applied. That'll change in a second. That gives me the relative strength comparative to the US market and the indicators that I wanted on there. Now to apply the expert advisor, I go to right click, expert advisor, attach. Up comes a list, and I want the Elite Wealth United States. You need to select the correct one, obviously, and what this does is a number of different things for you. I'll just zoom back so you can see on here. These little diamonds, we'll just zoom in on these so you can see them a bit easier. So a diamond, purple diamond, is a setup. So it's met our rules for a setup. The arrow indicates we are in. So that trade setup, a pending order, has been triggered. And the green highlight through here tells you that you are in this trade. And doing very nicely, thank you. The orange line through here is our 380-hour trailing stop. And when you exit the trade, a little signal comes up here to tell you that you've exited the trade. So you can see that as of now we have a signal here and another signal here for a pending order. If you want to find out the details of this pending order, if you right click on the chart and apply the expert commentary, that will bring up a window with information that you've set up in here for your own particular trading plan. So this is for you. Drag this commentary over. There's a commentary, so this is for Coca-Cola. First thing is it tells you what the current risk rating for the market is and what you should have at risk in your portfolio at the moment, and how we set this up I'll show you in a second. So it's got capital management involved in this, and down beneath that, the system tells us that we have a new long entry signal has formed, so if you wanted to you can place a pending order. And these are the details of your order. Entry is at 53.81. We're risking $1,000. Trade size is 133 shares if our stop loss is at 46.32. So fairly simple sort of process. This now makes the whole process a lot quicker. As you're well aware, we used to do this manually. So this has been our holy grail. Been working towards this for some time. Where you set this up is up here in the indicator builder. I'll just drag this mouse over, and under, just have to find it. The system variables. So you find the Elite Wealth System variables and then click on it, left click on it and edit. And these are the inputs for the expert advisor, and you get these from your trading plan. So the top two are editable. Well, they're all editable, but these are ones that are for the actual, we use these in the scanning process under the Explorers when you want your minimum turnover and your minimum security price. So what we're saying here is that any security to be eligible for our scans must have a weekly turnover of $750,000 and a minimum security price of 10 cents. Now, if you're not happy with that, you can delete that and change that to, let's say, 50 cents. Maximum portfolio drawdown. This is a figure in your trading plan where you said, this is my cutoff, I will not go more than 15%. Your percentage risk per trade might be 1% or 2% or 0.5%, whatever the value is. And this is trading capital that you're trading with. Once you've made your changes to that, you click on OK. Close this. And that will be reflected in that expert commentary and in the Explorer when you apply those. So as I said, on your chart you'll have the little diamonds. You can change these signals if you want to. If you find it's a bit hard to see, you can make it bigger, change the colour. All of this can be edited in your system. So it just goes through the process on how to set up that. Now, the explorations is the last part of what we've built for you in this download. There are two explorations or scans, one for the ASX and one for the US. Because this is quite a complex scanning process, we've divided it into two parts to make it quicker. The first part is the scan that will go through and look for the relative strength and the moving average part of the scan and liquidity. The second part, which is called the final, goes through and does the relative strength part of that for you. You do need to set this up properly, otherwise it won't work correctly when you're doing this. So to set up a scan or an exploration, we go to our binoculars. You set the interval to weekly, records to load to 250, and then we go down to our Elite Wealth explorations here. Now there's just a first scan, so you can use that for either Australia or the USA, and then you select either Australia final or United States final if you're doing United States. We're going to do Australia. You then select your trading universe, which is the ASX there, and we need to select the multiple exploration option here to use the results from the preceding exploration. So what that means is that Metastock will do the first scan, which is the big one, going through all 2,000 plus securities in the ASX, doing the easy part of the scan, and that's the quick, that takes the most of the time, and then it might whittle those 2,000 stocks down to 10 or 20 or 30. It then goes through the final filter with the relative strength through those 30 or 20 stocks, whatever it is, just does a second scan, applying the relative strength, and that will then give you your final list of 5 or 10 stocks that you can then look at to decide whether you're going to scan or not. Now what you need to do once you have set this up is click on summary. So back in Metastock, down the bottom here's a little summary button. So you click on that and that brings up a window, and you just need to make sure that first scan is first. So what I'm going to do is just highlight this, push that down to the bottom. You must have the first scan on top as number 1. That's the order of the scanning, and then the final will come secondly. And then you click on Start Exploration, and away it goes. Once you've started the scan, a little summary window comes up and tells you how it's going. Tells you the percentage you're through, the number of instruments that have been checked, how many are rejected, and you should get a rejection rate of around 99%. That's about normal. And it'll tell you how much time is left before the first scan is completed. Once the first scan is completed, that will then start the second scan, and that only takes a few seconds, and then you're ready. When it's finished, it asks, do you want to see the report? Just click on the report tab. That'll bring up this report, and we've got it. This is the old version. That will have then a list of the securities with their entry price, the current price of the stock, the stop loss, the number of shares, and the code. And you can print that off. You can save that list, and you can also just go straight to Open Chart if you want to. This list is automatically saved in Metastock. Each exploration is saved. Metastock automatically saves your last exploration. So if you close this window and look at a chart, you can always get it back by going to your power window. And that's all for today. If you need any help, if you're not sure about anything, by all means request a coaching session or call us 1300 200 931 or send us an email to support@elitewealth.com.au. Thank you for attending today.